Chapter 319, the fanaticism formula just dropped. I'm not even gonna waste any time, we're just gonna get straight into it. We open up with a shot of Chris Prince, Noel Noah, Lavino, Snuffy, and Loki. Do you know why soccer has this much power to entrance humanity? And Ego's thinking to himself. As we begin the kickoff for the second half of the match, Isagi passes it to RIN, and Ego continues. Regardless of birth or wealth, with just a ball, anyone in the world can freely take the field. There's no denying that this is connected to the sport's massive popularity, but its essence is even more primitive. And we see RIN move up the field to get past these two nameless defenders the fuck out of here, but Kuso and Bello, they're charging up. The origin of all sports lies in hunting. And we see RIN get double teamed by both Kuso and Bello, but he is trying his best to mix their shit. As recorded on the prehistoric paintings found in caves, people tested their combat skills in martial arts, and competed to display the physical abilities needed for chasing prey, as well as throwing stones or spears. At their root, all sports originate in the act of acquiring prey. In other words, acquiring prey fills empty stomachs. Sports originate from the basic acts of creatures trying to live. And you know, this is a pretty interesting perspective here, and I'm really liking the art. It reminds me of another one of Kanishiro's manga, which I feel quite strongly about, maybe not for the best of reasons. More on that in a bit. That's why people's hearts are so entranced by sports. And we see Obabona pull up on RIN and take the ball from him. And we see the Nigerian crowd, they are cheering. Smash it in. Nigerian counterattack! Nice Obo. And Kuso gets the ball but immediately passes it to Bello. And now they're all playing selfishly. Let's go. I'm not passing to Onazi. I'm getting a goal myself. And Bello rushes past Karasu, but Karasu catches back up immediately. Trying something new. Ain't gonna work, dumbass. Ugh, damn it, I can't do it. You try next. And Bello lets off the ball over to Sadiq, a new player on the team. Alright, Bello, nice work. But Rayo and Chigiri, they're on his ass. He's coming alone. Okay, I'm gonna bounce on it. Sorry. We can be egotistical too, BLUELOCK. Sadiq rushes forward. I'm gonna be so for real, Sadiq. We're not doing shit with that ball. We just met you 2 seconds ago. Isagi's about to come in. He's gonna like literally tear your legs apart. He's gonna rip your body limb from limb. You're gonna end up as a fucking like nugget on the field. And in the sport known as soccer, players form teams and exchange intentions. Box him in! Now! Then chase down their prey and finish it off. And just as Ego says that, Ryo clips the ball Sadiq had, and it goes up in the air. You could call it a variant of group hunting. So what is the position of striker? Onazi gets the ball, shit. One who fearlessly leads the charge and slips past the enemy's eyes to land the fatal strike. And Isagi's pulling up, and he's about to jump Onazi, and then yeah, that's not good. And that's why the creatures known as strikers. What the fuck? This cannot be real, bro. What the fuck is this? This is a panel straight out of Groshros. If you guys don't know what Groshros is, it's a manga by the author of BLUELOCK. One of the worst pieces of fiction ever made by like literally anyone. By the way, do not read it. It is not worth it. But this art, the fucking woolly mammoth, it's literally Groshros. And I have to believe that Kanishiro intentionally put this here, knowing that it reminded him of that manga. But holy fuck, it looks cool. Even Onazi's aura here is fucking like caveman stand. Looks like one of the main characters from Groshros. This is actual insanity. And Onazi lines up for the shot. Not bad, Japan. But he passes the ball. He's got Ryu and Aiku confused as fuck. Yes, passes now. Didn't see that coming. Do it. Kuso! And oh shit, Kuso's got the aura around him. He's charging up a shot. In other words, the world's greatest striker must be the world's greatest hunter. And we get a double spread of RIN blocking the fuck out of Kuso's shot. What? Too tepid, Cornrow nerd. You don't have enough goal lust. Have enough what? What the fuck are you talking about, RIN? What the fuck do you mean goal? Yo, I'm actually mad as fuck. This is the... Yo, this has to be a translator issue. This cannot be what Kanishiro meant. What the fuck do you mean you don't have enough goal lust? I ought to grab you by your fucking neck and choke you out, RIN. What the fuck is he talking about? And I do find it mad interesting that Ego's talking about the world's greatest striker having to be the world's greatest hunter as RIN pulls off the defensive maneuver of the century. Does that mean something? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's convenient timing. The Japan crowd roars as the ball's now in the air. RIN is also kind of in the air. I don't know how the fuck he recovered from this. You know, a whole pose like this, you'd think he would just like fall on his ass, but somehow he immediately shifted to looking like this. I don't know what physics RIN is operating under. It's clearly not the same ones that I was born with, so I'm just gonna have to let it rock. So the simple act of kicking a ball around lets humans feel the primal sense of creatures trying to live, and their instincts are utterly entranced. This is soccer's fanaticism formula. Aiku rushes for the ball and hits it with a headbutt. Isagi receives the ball and then he tells RIN, hey, Let's test it, Rin. You're on, Isagi. Test what? What the fuck did I miss? Clearly they came up with something in training that they're now about to practice. I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm kind of excited to see it though. Rin and Isagi working together, the two number ones working together, and we finish the chapter with Ego holding his hands together. Now go on and hunt your dream of being the world's best. Prove that you're the heroes. And Isagi is rushing forward with Rin and the puzzle pieces swirling around him as they're about to hopefully commit one of the best chain plays we've seen in Blue Lock history. And that is chapter 319, the fanaticism formula. And my gosh, what a good chapter. The first thing I want to get out of the way is this beautiful panel. Oh my god, man. I know it doesn't even mean much for the story, but it's just such a beautiful panel to look at. This might be like one of the best Blue Lock spreads we've gotten in a while, and it just looks so clean. And the fact that it recalls one of Kanishira's past works, it just gives me like a fuzzy feeling, like a good fuzzy feeling, despite, you know, that other series being absolute dog shit. I'm being so for real. Please don't ever read Grashros. That might be one of the worst things anyone in human history has ever conjured up. It is genuinely that bad. Please do not read it. But on to more important things, like Ego's whole speech, which I found incredibly interesting. I mentioned in my last video that I kind of wanted Ego to build off more from what he was saying in the previous chapter, and I feel like he kind of did that here in a pretty satisfying way. The talks of peace and war being the two states of existence, and society putting everyone in this dull state of peace where they don't have to yearn for anything real anymore. I felt like that was missing something. It just had like this piece of commentary that I thought could fit in that Kanishiro just didn't cover, but I feel like he's put in that puzzle piece with this chapter by talking about how the sport of soccer itself fits into modern society as a very primal activity. Hell, he goes on to say all sports do this. They tap into our most primal desires, our most primal instincts. And he further specifies that the role of the striker is the one who leads the charge and slips past their enemies to lay the fatal strike against their prey, which is why strikers are heroes people instinctually yearn for. I think that is a fascinating concept that does fit into this piece of commentary quite well. Do I think it could be expanded on a bit more? Probably, yeah. At this point, I feel like we have all the pieces and we can kind of fill in the gaps ourselves. I'm pretty satisfied with where Kanishiro has taken this, and any gripes I had with it before are pretty much gone entirely. But enough of that, and to the actual match itself, I gotta admit, I'm pretty proud of the Nigerian team. I've been giving them so much shit since this match started, reasonably so, by the way. Like, come on, let's not act like they were not putting in the worst performance of their lives. But this chapter really showed them committing to a new playstyle and trying their best, and it yielded some pretty fascinating results. Starting with Blue Lock on the attack, Obabona was able to steal the ball, pass it to Bello, who then got it to Sadiq, and then Onazi, who tricked everyone and got it back to Kuso, who went for his own selfish shot, which is a hell of a strategy, and it only got foiled because Rin, the absolute genius he is, was able to read that. And then Rin, I don't know why the fuck he said this. Like, Rin, oh my god, Jesus Christ, dude. And even though that attack didn't work out for Nigeria, I do applaud them for the effort and I do hope they keep it up. Do I think that this failure of an attack is proof that they'll lose? Absolutely yes. I think at most Nigeria gets one goal off of this new strategy and then they end like, at least we found a new way to fight, guys. We can improve and come back later. We're never gonna see them again. But it's becoming all the more and more clear to me that this match really just is a stepping stone for Blue Lock. They might be challenged in one tiny way or another, but I really do believe that their big challenges are gonna come in the forms of the England and France match and all the ones after. And I can't really blame Kanishiro for setting it up this way, because this is the first match in an arc where they're gonna be playing match after match after match. You don't want to kick off the first one being where all the stakes are on the line, because that just wouldn't even make any sense. But I do feel like Kanishiro has made this match reasonably entertaining enough for me to still keep up with it weekly and have some good fun. As for this moment here with Rin and Isagi, I don't know what the fuck they're testing out. I didn't even know they could work together. I didn't know they would want to work together after what Isagi did to Rin in the PXG match. I thought he was gonna pull like a fucking Kaiser and just not talk to Isagi ever again. Clearly I was wrong. And you know what? I'm proud of Rin for that, because I feel like in the past, Rin maybe might have not have been so mature about the situation and would not have talked to Isagi or treated him as an equal, but now they're actually working with each other, and I think that shows huge growth in their relationship. My big worry here mostly comes from this final panel. I just think it's silly wording or silly framing. Ego is saying to prove your dream of being the world's best, prove that you're the heroes. It's almost like he's just waiting for someone to contradict this immediately. Now, will this happen? I'm not sure, because I can't read the future. I don't know what 320 has in store for us. But all I'm saying is that I'm not going to be surprised if whatever Rin and Isagi's masterful plan is somehow gets foiled by the Nigerian team. I hope that's not the case, but with this wording here and what happened last panel with Isagi and Anri, I don't know. I am just kind of getting the chills. Am I paranoid? Maybe. I'm praying that I'm proven wrong here, but that's just my true thoughts. That's just my true feelings. God damn it. Gagamaru is really the fucking GOAT. Look at this shit, man. Look at this. What the fuck are we doing? But that's probably gonna be it for chapter 319. I had a lot of fun with this chapter. I even covered leaks of it if you missed those. Go check that video out if you haven't, because it is a completely different format from what this video is. And I had so much fun making it, and I would really like to know if you guys want me to continue making more of those videos. And once again, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because it would mean the world to me, especially because most of you aren't. But until next time, I'll see ya. Peace.